All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're doing a bit of financial detective work to uncover exactly how market integrity is maintained against hidden manipulation. We're exploring this fascinating, highly complex world that exists entirely behind the flashing numbers and charts of our global markets. We are talking about trade surveillance.
So here's a question for you. How do you catch a financial crime that you literally cannot even see? We're dropping right into the middle of the invisible crime scene of global finance. Because, unlike a physical robbery, financial crimes in the trading world don't leave broken glass or an empty vault. They happen in milliseconds, buried underneath millions of legitimate, everyday transactions. It's an incredibly high-stakes environment where bad actors are actively trying to make their manipulation look like totally standard, routine trading. So let's move to Section 1, the invisible financial crimes, why market abuse hides in plain sight. As this quote brilliantly points out, regulators like the Financial Conduct Authority demand strict safeguards because this unseen manipulation actually damages the fundamental bedrock of our markets. When insider dealing and market manipulation run unchecked, it is definitely not a victimless crime. It creates a completely uneven playing field. And the European Securities and Markets Authority, well, they echo this exact sentiment, stating that the whole market abuse framework is there to guarantee market integrity and increase investor confidence. Without these safeguards, trust in the entire financial system just evaporates. Okay, Section 2, defining trade surveillance, the detective's toolkit.
Now, what's really interesting here is that trade surveillance isn't just some simple post-trade report you casually skim at the end of the day. And it's definitely not just a piece of software you install and forget about, right? It's the active, ongoing monitoring of every single move made in the market. It is a comprehensive review of orders, executions, positions, the whole shebang, all to catch everything from manipulation to insider dealing. It's a living, breathing defense system.
And it operates on a highly dynamic life cycle. First step, you have step 1, the massive intake of raw data. Then, step 2, calibrated alert logic actually sifts through all that noise. When a flag goes up, it moves to step 3, active investigation by skilled analysts. And finally, if they find something genuinely suspicious, we hit step 4, formal escalation. This 4-step engine is what actually allows investigators to review potential abuse effectively.
Which brings us to Section 3, hunting for hidden patterns, why context is everything.
Look, context is literally everything here. An isolated trade or a single canceled order, that might look completely innocent, just one piece of the puzzle, right? Maybe it's just a sudden change of heart from a cautious trader. But when a coordinated pattern emerges across orders, execution venues, and time, that sequence points straight to misconduct. You can't just look at one isolated event. You have to see how all the pieces interlock to reveal the trap. So, investigators have to piece together clues from everywhere. They're layering trade and order data with client context and account history. They combine position data, and sometimes they even cross-reference internal communications or restricted list information. By stacking all these different puzzle pieces together, investigators can actually prove sequence, repetition, and malicious intent. It is exactly how the invisible becomes visible.
All right, Section 4, catching the usual suspects, the rap sheet of market abuse. Modern surveillance frameworks are specifically designed to detect this rap sheet of usual suspects. We're talking about tactics purposely designed to create false signals. Things like spoofing, where massive orders are placed and then quickly canceled just to trick other algorithms into reacting. There's also layering, marking the close, front-running, wash trading, and of course the misuse of inside information. Regulators absolutely expect firms to have systems fully capable of catching these illusions under rules like the market abuse regulation. And this highlights exactly where those crimes manifest. Suspicious activity usually shows up as highly unusual order book behavior, or sudden trading right ahead of big announcements, or maybe unnatural bursts trying to artificially influence the end-of-the-day price. It demands that mature systems are perfectly calibrated to catch these exact unnatural market maneuvers, ensuring that execution patterns actually align with a normal customer strategy.
Moving on to Section 5, the power of governance, the precinct and chain of command. Take a look at this breakdown. The global heavy hitters regulating this space are aggressively pushing for better oversight and formal reporting. The FCA held a recent tech sprint explicitly focused on using new tech to identify complex cross-market manipulation. ESMA champions suspicious transaction and order reports as critical tools for investigation. And FINRA, they treat manipulative trading as a live, highly active supervisory priority. They are not messing around here.
Because let's be honest, just having the software isn't enough. You need specific governance controls perfectly tailored to your business model. Alert ownership must be crystal clear. Scenarios have to be carefully calibrated to manage false positives, so investigators aren't just drowning in noise. You need highly skilled investigators and well-defined escalation routes. Without the whole package, it's really just paper compliance, which honestly offers no real protection at all.
I think this quote perfectly summarizes the mission. Ultimately, trade surveillance is the practical discipline of turning a chaotic sea of billions of data points into clear investigative insight and, where necessary, formal escalation. It's the frontline defense, protecting the fairness of the game, keeping the global financial crime environment in check. So, I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. As AI and faster algorithms enable increasingly complex cross-market manipulation, will our surveillance frameworks actually evolve fast enough to stay ahead and keep the markets fair? It is an ongoing arms race between the manipulators and the guardians. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this gave you a powerful new lens into the unseen architecture of global finance.